I'm staring into the window of my 3D printer, and it's kind of mesmerizing. But I remember when I was learning printmaking, I'd watch a plate in the acid bath with little bubbles coming up. And when I was doing a lithograph, I would watch the tush dry and leave these reticulated patterns on the stone surface. There's just something fascinating about printmaking. It's a process, and there are times when you can't do anything else but just watch and think. It's like that in painting too. I'm sure when you're doing a watercolor and you're waiting for the next layer to dry so that you can proceed, or you're doing a canvas on an easel and it's acrylic, let's say, and you go sit down and wait for the paint to dry. Is that where the expression watching paint dry comes from? I suppose that means it's just like boring, but I'm not bored, because as I'm watching all this, I'm thinking about what I'm talking about here, printmaking and 3D printing. And I decided that 3D printing is the newest of the printmaking processes. And what it means to me is that because I'm printing presses, and these are presses that work, I'm actually printing a thing that will be used to make other things, to make other art. And but it won't be automatic. It won't be just like push a button or sweep the screen. You'll have to actually maybe watch a plate in an acid tray with the little bubbles going up. And you can think ahead, you can imagine, well, what this is going to look like, is it going to work? I wonder what kind of paper I should use. Maybe I'll print this one in blue. Or I'm going to mix a different color. You think all these things. And you might even be thinking about showing it. But I never, that's not uppermost in my mind. Just doing it and staring at it and think how we got here. It's so fascinating. I'm glad that those people gave me the money to buy this 3D printing press. I'd sure like to share it. A woman came by a few days ago and she said, she looked in the window and she said, "Is this a printmaking studio? Could I bring my lino cuts and print here?" She didn't actually ask me that, but I could tell she was thinking, hey, if I had a press, I wouldn't be getting a sore shoulder printing my woodblocks by hand or my linos. After she left, I thought, oh yeah, it's a printmaking studio, but we include 3D printing, what we do here. And we use 3D printing to make printing plates, for one thing, and printing presses, and paper molds to make paper. Yeah. So fascinating. So glad I lived to see these things. Well, here it is. It's actually parts of a printing press. I'm making a miniature of my Mini Halfwood presses as they used to look. I can peel it off of the bed plate. And from here, I'll peel off the wheel and peel off these bars. And next I'll print the body of the press and we'll see how it turns out. Thanks for watching. I believe Da Vinci was correct and saying that contemplation is important to understanding one's art and sciences in his case. Because working as I am on this profile of my Mini Halfwood Press, it gives me a lot of time to think you know, watching it print, working on the software, taking all these steps. It also brings to my mind games that have moves, and I'm thinking of chess. I have a friend who's a chess teacher. He's influencing my thinking, and there is indeed contemplation in a chess game, all the right moves. And when you do 3D modeling and when you do 3D printing, there are these moves that you have to make, and they have to be correct, or you bomb. So I'm going to continue this process of making a profile, a 3D printed profile of my Mini Halfwood Press from long ago. Well, here it is. Ready to pop apart and see how the other parts fit the red pieces that I did before. One of the slogans on the shipping material on the X print system is that making your own toys is better than buying the toys. I agree.